Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're looking at 10 times BBC shows ended in disaster.
The arrival of the police made us realise this was no idle threat.
The opposition, yesterday's men.
Oh, I think, yes, great humiliation. It was very unexpected, certainly to me.
Everyone knows the BBC isn't meant to be partisan. Despite that, it's been hit with allegations of bias for decades from both sides of the political aisle, outraging Thatcher's Tories in the 1980s, but also crossing Labour in the early 70s. After the defeat of the Labour Party in the 1970 general election, the BBC put together a documentary called Yesterday's Men, interviewing Labour shadow ministers about what had gone wrong.
His friends still go to meet him, but the atmosphere isn't quite the same. I suppose there isn't the glamour attached to being leader of the opposition as there is to being Prime Minister.
Labour was lied to about the name and nature of the programme and were told it was going to be called Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. With Labour up for mockery, Harold Wilson attacked Aunty Beeb. The BBC eventually agreed to never rebroadcast the programme until after Wilson's death, so it waited until 2013 to screen it again.
Yesterday we was on page news. Now it's only the past you can find us.
Who's going to Eurovision? Eurovision making your mind up.
Now the public have spoken. Hush, children. And tonight, I can reveal the act that will represent the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
One of the few times the BBC has bothered to involve the public in the Eurovision selection process ended disastrously. And not just because we once again lost the competition that year. In 2007, Fern Cotton and Terry Wogan presented another edition of Making Your Mind Up, where the public gets to vote on our Eurovision act. But at the last moment, a miscommunication led to the presenters announcing a different winner.
1, 2, 3, Cindy!
Wogan went with Cindy, while Cotton announced Scooch. Scooch conceded, apparently only hearing Wogan, until Cotton intervened and insisted that Scooch had won after all. In the end though, we'd probably have done better had Cindy got through instead.
Cindy! Cindy, darling, I'm so sorry. You were so close. You've done a fantastic job tonight. Thank everyone, give it up for Cindy. Thank you, darling.
Two presenters down. MasterChef.
Greg Wallace is one of those characters that I doubt now that he really realises what he's done wrong over the years.
Or is accused of doing wrong.
The 2005 revival of MasterChef was fronted by the successful presenting duo of John Turode and Greg Wallace, and went on in much the same way for about 20 years. But then, allegations began to emerge in the press about Wallace's behaviour, allegations serious enough that he was booted off, and an investigation was conducted.
But having worked with him, I can say, Charlene, he is extremely aggressive. I mean, I don't even have to allege that.
Wallace's habit of taking off his trousers when alone with young female runners wasn't the only MasterChef scandal, however, as the following year. Turode was also sacked for allegedly using racist language. Turode denied it all, but both have since been replaced on MasterChef.
Saying the matter has been formally discussed with John Turode by Banijay UK, and whilst we note that John says he does not recall the incident, Lewis Silkin have upheld the very serious complaint.
Sued for defamation. Panorama.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell.
Panorama has had plenty of controversies over the years, but most recently it found itself under fire from the most litigious American president in history. Donald Trump opted to sue the BBC for alleged defamation after it had edited two parts of his speech together in an episode which was rebroadcast before he won the 2024 election.
In a statement, the BBC said, "We accept that our edit unintentionally created the impression that we were showing a single continuous section of the speech."
The BBC's case that it didn't defame him was that A. It can't have damaged his reputation that much since he won. B. He did say both of the things they showed him saying, just with more in between. And C, the programme never aired in the US, so Florida, where the suit was filed, has no jurisdiction. The BBC eventually apologised, but is still trying to get the $10 billion lawsuit dismissed.
An apology, but no compensation. No reaction yet, but how's that likely to go down with President Trump, do you think?
Want to see more clips of TV shows going wrong? Head to WatchMojo UK's 24/7 live stream for the best of British content. Defending Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Newsnight.
The Met Police tell Newsnight they can't confirm whether any royal protection officers were at Pizza Express on that date, citing national security.
After Newsnight thoroughly destroyed the former Prince Andrew's reputation in 2019, it then went the other way in 2026 with an absolutely baffling comment from Kay Burley. Burley, who was one of Sky News' foremost journalists until leaving in 2025, was joined on the Newsnight sofa by one of Epstein's survivors, Lisa Phillips, and Welsh Labour MP Alex Davies-Jones.
That's what I would love, is for my survivor sisters here to get in touch with me.
After they talked about Andrew's alleged activities and new revelations about whether he'd really been to Pizza Express, like he claimed, Burley interrupted to insist that we should all remember Andrew was a war hero and fought in the Falklands.
And we should accept that he was a war hero. We should just throw that in.
Thank you, Alex Davies-Jones. Lisa Phillips, thank you very much for being with us this evening.
She was slated publicly for this, with nobody on the programme knowing what to make of the comment. A nation traumatised. Ghostwatch.
So, how destructive has the haunting actually been?
Everyone kept on blaming us for breaking stuff. We weren't doing anything.
I've lost track, really, I have.
We know you've heard us talk about Ghostwatch a lot, but this time we're focusing on the aftermath of the programme and the tragic death of at least one of its viewers.
It's making a terrible noise. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear this?
An 18-year-old with learning difficulties, Martin Denham, watched the show and then tragically took his own life days later, making specific reference to ghosts in the note he left. His parents brought a complaint against the BBC, which eventually reached the High Court.
Stop it! Stop it, Susie!
Broadcasting standards finally ruled that the Beeb should have done more to ensure people knew Ghostwatch was fiction, and shouldn't have used children's presenters like Sarah Green. Ghostwatch's producers eventually apologised for the distress caused.
Get off me! Get away! Get off me! No! Go away! Mum, help me! Don't leave me, Mum!
Official secrets. Secret society.
That's not a secret, just something the Ministry of Defence would prefer wasn't discussed openly.
No doubt that when investigative journalists first began making the programme Secret Society in the late 80s, they didn't think the saga would end with the BBC's offices being raided by police on the orders of GCHQ and the Ministry of Defence.
This, of course, is the reason for the Ministry's embarrassment.
The big problem was that the journalist leading the show, Duncan Campbell, uncovered the top-secret Zircon satellite, intended to launch by the end of the decade with the aim of intercepting Soviet radio signals. Zircon was so secret that when the MOD got wind of the show, a gagging order was issued. They tried to seize all of the tapes and cover it up, but the story eventually broke, though not before Campbell and his colleagues had their own homes searched by spies.
During the operation, police removed all documents and film material relating to the series called Secret Society.
Run out of Argentina. Top Gear.
Nationalists, whatever, believe that the Falklands are Argentinian, they don't like the British, and they're in a hotel.
While travelling through Patagonia in South America, the Top Gear team was all set to stage a match of car football between themselves and some Argentinians. However, news began to spread of the number plate on Jeremy Clarkson's Porsche, which read H982 FKL, perceived as a reference to the Falklands War. Clarkson denied this, saying that the Porsche's plate had always said that, and that it was just a coincidence, but their hotel was eventually threatened by Falklands War veterans.
Back on the move, they were now heading for the much larger town of Rio Grande, where they were told a mob in some 300 cars was waiting.
Even the local police insisted that the number plate was meant as an insult and ordered them to leave. The crew was attacked by an angry mob while trying to reach the Chilean border, with 2 injured before they reached safety.
But after many hours of struggle, our team made it across.
Endless injuries. Gladiators.
So the chase becomes a race. If the contenders get up the wall first, it's 10 points.
We all knew this was going to happen when the BBC announced it was reviving Gladiators, but hoped that modern health and safety might prevail. Unfortunately, the newest version of Gladiators has been just as plagued with gruesome injuries as its ITV predecessor, leading to constant cast changes. Even before the first episode was broadcast, its stars were having to drop out to recover.
Away they go then, and Joe starts very strongly with a leap onto the wall, and look at him go!
Broken bones, dislocations, torn ligaments, and even a total ACL tear. Many of these injuries are so serious that they've practically ended the careers of the Gladiators before they began. Unlike the other shows on this list, Gladiators is allowed to keep going horribly wrong, repeatedly.
And now he will taunt his opponent over the top. Well, now we know why he changed the rules.
A tragic death. The Late Breakfast Show.
Well, the only injury we've had so far, we're relieved here, is a bleeding nose.
Hosted by Noel Edmonds, this weekend variety show featured countless dangerous stunts and infamously lacks health and safety standards. Despite already being threatened for its slapdash approach to safety, the BBC kept going with the programme, and things could have ended after a stunt driver broke his pelvis in a car accident.
Everybody's all right. The car's gone. The car went into the crowd, but nobody's hurt.
Or it could have ended when another woman broke a bone being shot from a cannon, but ultimately it took the horrific death of a participant, Michael Lush, in 1986 to end the show. Lush fell to his death when the carabiner attaching him to a bungee cord failed. When Noel Edmonds immediately resigned, the show ended for good.
Well, obviously we'll keep you posted as to exactly what happened with that attempt. It certainly looked remarkably frightening.
Let us know in the comments what videos you want us to do next.